Hey y'all, welcome back to Just Sharing, your Aqua Big Sister podcast. I know it's been a while, um, and I thank you guys for your patience. I know I'm supposed to be filling y'all in on my my relationship tea, but my family has been sick pretty much the whole month of October, so sorry about that. Um, anyway, let's jump right on into it. Remember the last time we were talking about relationships and basically knowing your worth, knowing who you are, getting to know yourself, and getting to know who God made you to be before you just jump into something. Just for the fact of saying, I'm in a relationship. But anyhow, so I all throughout high school I never really dated, to be honest. That was just, I don't know. It was just not necessarily a thing for me. So all throughout high school I never really dated. Um Once I was 19, 20, 21, I really didn't even date then, but it was just like I talked to people and had situationships, which is a hot mess. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. Just like had situationships where I would talk to guys, but it just really didn't lead to where it was supposed to go, or not even necessarily where it was supposed to go, but where maybe I wanted it to go, to say, oh, I have a boyfriend or whatever. Um, it just really didn't lead anywhere. And personally, I think that's because God knew that the type of personality that I have, where it's like all or nothing type of personality, where he knew that I would jump all in and be like, oh, I want to have longevity with this person, when those gentlemen meant me no longevity, no respect, and like no, no place in which I could build my future with. And I knew that, but I just wanted to be one of those girls to say, "Oh, I got a boyfriend or whatever." But that's not always the case. You know, you don't always have to have male attention or a boyfriend or whatever. Focus on you. Focus on what you feel like God put you on this earth to do, what you're passionate about. You don't always have to. And I know that's a big thing. Oh, I got a man, and I am married, and I do value my marriage, but it's just like you're basing your whole personality off of having a relationship, rather than being who you are and cultivating who God made you to be, before you jump into a relationship. And even like people say, come healed, even through a healing journey, even through childhood traumas and things of that nature, you may not be, healed or over those things. And then you're bringing those things into a marriage or a long term relationship if you're younger. And that's not helping you, because you're basically becoming codependent on that person, because you're like, oh, I got a man, so everything else, every other hurt, pain, or situation goes out the window. Or on the flip of that coin, I got a man, but we're both dumping our issues on one another, and neither one of us are coming into the situation able to bring the next person 100% of yourself, because you're still dealing with things that have happened before in your life. So anyway, um I went away to college. I was probably about 19, I would say, probably. And my friends went to a party. I told them I wasn't going with them, so they brought the after party back to our apartment, the same apartment I was telling y'all about in the other story time. Anyway, if you know, you know. Go back and watch it. Anyway, goodness. Um. Anyway, the same apartment. So, a gentleman decided to introduce himself to me, because my roommate was like, girl, come out here. You're not gonna stay in that room, and we here. We not at the party no more. We all here, so we all finna kick it. Girl, come out here, whatever. And I'm like, I guess. Okay. So this gentleman invited himself to come talk to me, and I'm just talking to him, whatever. But I guess it was something about him that I was like, oh, I want to get to know him better. But it was just like the same old song and dance. Like we would text a little bit, then not talk for months at a time, then text a little bit more, then not talk for months at a time. And I'm like, all right, Jamila, he proven to you that he do not want you, sis. Move on. But for some reason, I couldn't move on. I just wanted to keep texting for a little bit and then not talking for months at a time. And he lived about an hour from where I live. So sometimes if we would go out, we would go up there. So then that's when I would see him. But aside from that, it was just the whole texting on and off type of situation. And I'm like, girl, you being silly. So it was just like that went on for about 6 months, like on just texting on and off. And it was just like some type of attachment that I had formed to that. Um, but I knew that he wasn't the guy for me. So I had somehow like formed an attached some type of attachment to him. Um, but I'm like, all right, he's not showing any interest. He obviously does not want you. So let it go. And it seems as if once I let it go, the floodgates started opening up, and like dudes from near and far, truly that I had zero interest in, started like trying to talk to me. I was heading to work. A guy like literally ran down the street. A young man, like he was my age, but it was just like a desperation had like. I was heading to work another time, and I was on the bus. I rode the bus to work, and the guy was like, "Can I have your number?" And I'm like, "I'm going to work." And they're like, "Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I'll hit you up, and we can talk after work." I'm like, "All right, whatever." But then, like maybe like within that same year, that was probably 2013, 2012, 2013. Within that same year, the same types of situations were happening where like guys were just like, "Oh, can I have your number? Can I have your number?" And not until like around this time that year, October, November, did I meet my husband. He said that I met him before that, but I don't remember. He was like, "Oh, I was talking to you during the summertime." I was like, "I have zero recollection of that." He was like, "Well, he was going to a convention, and he was like, I'm going to a convention, but can I have your number?" I ended up giving him my number. At that time, I was just so worn out with the whole trying to get a boyfriend type of situation that I'm just like, I'm gonna give him my number, but I'm not gonna get his boy the time of day. And I gave him my number, and we were talking or whatever, blah blah blah. Um, but then like I didn't really care to take it serious. I didn't really take it serious until like I went to his house, and his mom, I guess his mom sealed the deal for me because she was just so open and warm and loving to me. And I'm a stranger. Like, granted, she knows that I'm talking to her boyfriend. I mean, she knows that I'm talking to her son, but to be my boyfriend. But he could have been talking to Susie, Jane, Christina. He could have been talking to some of anybody also on the side. So I didn't know that information if he was or wasn't. But it was just like she was just like so loving and compassionate and caring to me, and I was a stranger to her. Um so that's kind of what did it for me. And then when he got back from his convention, he brought me a necklace, and he was like, "I don't know if you'll like it or not." But I'm like, it's the thought that counts. And I'm very much so the thought that counts type of person. So the fact that he brought me a gift and he didn't have to, and we were just still in the talking stages, we weren't taking anything really serious, just meant a lot to me. So those things were the things that were like, all right, I guess. So January of that next year, we spent like still Christmas talking, hanging out, whatever. And then January of that next year, he was like, "Oh, I wanna take this serious. I wanna be in a relationship." So we were, and that was that from then on. But Anyway, I was just dumb in that whole situation where I was on and off with that guy, and I don't know, I was just so desperate for a relationship when there was no point for me to be that desperate. I could have been spending that time learning myself, loving myself, healing from things that I had been through in my childhood. Is a hot mess. Anyway, just learning myself and understanding myself. But I am grateful for my husband, and we have definitely had to grow through a lot of things. But I would just say, spend that time with yourself before you just jump into something and just say, oh, I'm just doing this so that I can have a man, or I can say that I have a man. But you're not coming into the situation where you guys are both beneficial and both helping each other build and grow and be the best versions of yourself individually and collectively. That's all I got for today, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hopefully, I won't be dipping out like I did before. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.